Good evening, Buxton. I'm Nigel Thistledown Bramley reporting from my temporary broadcasting outpost in Paphos, Cyprus, specifically a hotel apartment near Venus Beach, with a cat named Sir Peralot and a forehead that's begun to glisten like a well-oiled crumpet. Here the air is warm, the cats are plentiful, and I've realised I may have packed entirely the wrong trousers. Let's begin. I arrived at Manchester Airport with optimism, a suitcase full of linen and a hat I've since lost somewhere between Gate 32 and a pret-a-manger. The flight was delayed due to weather, which I suspect means Buxton's drizzle had ambitions. I spent 3 hours sipping lukewarm tea and trying to decipher a departure board which kept blinking like it knew something. Eventually, we boarded. I was seated between a man who snored like a foghorn and a child who asked if Cyprus had dragons. I said yes, it was easier. 5 hours later, we landed. I stepped off the plane and was immediately hit by what I can only describe as a warm slap from the sun. My knees began to reconsider their life choices. Customs was smooth, though one officer did ask, "Are you okay, sir?" I said I'm British, this seemed to cover it, and he waved me through. I found a taxi. The driver was lovely, spoke excellent English, and drove like he was auditioning for a Mediterranean remake of The Italian Job. He was on his phone, possibly ordering dinner, possibly negotiating with Zeus. We overtook a bus, a goat, and what I believe was a wedding procession. I clung to the seat and tried not to make eye contact with the speedometer. At one point we passed a roadside cafe and I swear I saw a cat sitting in a chair staring directly at me. It was grey, regal and oddly familiar. I blinked and it was gone. I arrived safely, if slightly rearranged. The hotel staff were wonderfully kind. One receptionist offered me water, shade and a chair before I'd even spoken. Another handed me a map and whispered, "You must hydrate." I nodded and promised to drink. Then came the cats. They're everywhere, on walls, under chairs, occasionally in chairs, but one stood out, the grey one. He appeared on my balcony and then vanished. Later he was in the lobby, and then outside the lift, and then at the foot of the stairs, always watching, always silent. I've named him Sir Peralot. He seems unimpressed but committed. I believe he's my feline handler. Now, as for why we're here, well, that's a bit of a puzzle. The Buxton Weather Station received an invitation to participate in a cross-cultural climate collaboration with the Paphos Meteorological Centre. The Royal Observatory was meant to send a professor, but however, I believe due to a clerical error, they've sent me. Possibly because I once correctly predicted drizzle in Buxton using a digestive biscuit. I'm here to compare forecasting methods, share insights and possibly learn how to use a thermometer. I'm not a seasoned traveller, but as always I will try my best to be a gentleman. And so begins my Cypriot adventure. I've lost a hat, gained a cat and been gently roasted by the sun. Tomorrow I'll begin my meteorological mission, assuming Sir Peralot allows it. I remember to drink water. I'm Nigel Thistledown Bramley, reminding you to pack light, hydrate often, and if a cat claims your suitcase, it's probably theirs now.